Hello, Simmers. Welcome back to the channel. It is Kayla, also known as Serena Sims, back with another video. So in today's video, it's going to be the third build in my unofficial Building Newcrest series. I also went ahead and created a playlist, so that will be linked in the end cards of this video, so you can go ahead and watch the other two builds. It's literally two builds, but it's three videos just because one of them was kind of a retirement community. So that was a two-parter just because it was six different structures on that lot. But yeah, so let's talk about this video. This one is going to be a base game only build. It's going to be 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, plus an office. If I took away the office area, I probably could have made it a starter home, but don't worry, there will be some starter lots in Newcrest. So yeah. I also wanted to make this house blue, but I settled for a cream color outside with blue accents just because the house right next to it was kind of a bluish green color. And I just wanted there to be a little bit of variation. And then I already have plans for the lot next to it, which is going to be colors. So I don't know, I didn't want there to be too much going on the street. But anywho, yeah, so I've already drawn out the floor plan and I'm just going ahead and placing the windows so I don't forget, as well as an outside door because there's going to be a small patio back here. I think I've already mentioned, but it's going to be 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So I'm imagining this home for older adult Sims. So not elders per se, but they are adults, excuse me, that are, later in their life or whatever. I'm imagining, maybe they're mid to late 40s, maybe early 40s, just something like that. Now, one of the rooms is going to be for a child slash teen. I was thinking they're on the cusp of being a teen, so like that 11, 12, 13 age range, not age area, that age range. And the story behind it is just the parents had this kid later on in their lives. So that's why they're older and their child is kind of smaller. So the living room came together pretty quickly. Like I said, it was base game. I didn't want to use like the cheaper base game couches. So that's where the inspiration or the thought that this family or the parents were a little bit older because I had to use these more um mature sofa set. I like them nonetheless. My aunt used to have sofas like this in her house, and I think they're really pretty and they're really comfortable. So that's just my honest opinion. And I also wanted to use artwork that I don't typically use. So I figured this family was a musical family. Maybe the dad, is a famous guitar player. Maybe not famous because the house kind of small, but maybe he's a renowned or well-known local artist or whatnot. So I went ahead and put a guitar in there also, just to kind of play along into that storyline. But yeah, with all my yapping, the living room and the office area kind of came together really quickly. Since we were using just base game, I didn't really have many options, but the office just has like a bookshelf. There's a little chair in the corner, as well as a computer area. Maybe the mom is a writer or a teacher or something like that. So yeah. Kitchen came together pretty quickly as well. I am going to go through and find more items to clutter the countertops. But I just wanted to go ahead and as I was seeing things and as I was thinking about things, just go ahead and placing it out there. So I also placed this hutch that had kind of like some blue looking china in there. So with that, I decided to use blue as like an accent color in here, and we'll see that shortly. I'm also getting some of those base game photos with like those more ornate frames just to kind of play into the seasoned, I don't like to say old, play into the seasoned parents. And there's no shade to anybody. I'm seasoned. I'm approaching 40, so I'm talking to myself here. But anywho, the bathroom, this is going to be the only bathroom, so I went ahead and left the footage in there. It came together again like everything pretty quickly just because we're using the base game. And I also put the tall cabinet in there. So I'm thinking as storage. The same aunt that I'm thinking about that had those sofas, she had like this floor to ceiling like built-in kind of cabinet in her guest bathroom as well. So I'm like, oh, let's kind of do something similar. That's where she put extra sheets, extra towels, like stuff for her guest, extra soap and stuff like that, like storage, obviously. So I went ahead and did the same thing in here. Now moving on to the parents' bedroom. Again, I didn't want to use the cheapest furniture set just because I feel like all starter base game builds kind of look like that. Again, even though this is not a starter, I kind of wanted it to be, but I realized I didn't want it to be once I started building. Um, but yeah, so I'm going ahead. I picked the bed, I picked a swatch. So the accent color in here is going to be yellow. And then I'm using my favorite base game curtains for in here. The white swatch and the cream swatch are kind of like my favorite swatches of this. So I'm going through and I'm finding more clutter items. I forgot to put some like a utensils holder in the kitchen. So I went back and I did that. Got a flower for a centerpiece on the table. And then with that, the parents' room is pretty much done. So here we are, we're moving into the tweens bedroom. I wanted to use the stuff, this uni to fill the corner. That's why I'm like, okay, maybe she slightly plays with toys, but then again, she doesn't. So she doesn't have a lot of toys, but that's like something that's sentimental to her. So she wants to keep uni. But you know, she also has a laptop because she's getting older. Um, you know, so she can do her homework. Her furniture is a little bit more updated. I'm thinking in my head that maybe, you know, she just recently transitioned from like her childhood stuff to like more um teen centered furniture. Put a fish bowl in here just because that's something I always forget to put. Pardon me, but I think it's a great add. Um, Again, I tried to bring in some kitty aspects, so maybe they haven't painted her room yet, or maybe she still likes the confetti. That's what I call it, the confetti walls. Um, but yeah, so with that, the inside's pretty much done. We're gonna move on to landscaping. This tree that I just placed to the right of the house, I end up removing that. So if you download this house from the gallery, um, shameless plug, my EAID is SirenaSimsYT. So if you download this house off of the gallery, it will not have that tree there. Reason being is because I'm trying to pay more attention on how the builds look when I put them on the gallery. And for this one in particular, you really couldn't see any of the floor plan, just by the way that they make the screenshots for the gallery builds. So I removed it so that you'd be able to actually see what the inside of the house looks like. Because I would hate for somebody to download it and end up not liking it. I know for me, I kind of don't like that. If I see something on the gallery, but I can't really see the inside, there may be something in there that I don't necessarily want or necessarily jive with or whatnot. Um, and then maybe I just don't have time to redo it because then that will turn into a whole 3 hours. But anywho, we're nearing the end of the video now. So I'm just going through and doing terrain painting. We put a small grill on the outside of the house. I put some planters, a patio table, and then I'm just going ahead and finishing up the landscaping. And then we're going to jump into real time and do a tour of the completed build. Okay guys, so here is the completed build. We're going to come in here and do a tour. It's kind of small, so not going to take too long with it. Here is the front. We're going to come around to the back. This is using base game only, so yeah, not too much we could have done back here. Okay, so let's just go inside. So here in the front, we have our little entryway. And then we are in the living room here. So I got some little plants by the window, guitar, our TV, just a plain living area. Okay. Oh, back over here we have a small office area. Okay, and then we come out of here, and then we're gonna go into our kitchen slash dining room. So there's that. And then we have sliding doors to the back. Gonna come in here. Here is the primary bedroom. I always struggle with artwork when I'm using base game only, so bear with me. I did the best I could. Okay, and then next we have the only bathroom in the house. There's that. Okay, toilet over here in the corner there. And then last but not least, we have our child slash preteens room. So here is that. Very colorful in comparison to the rest of the home. But yeah, so that is it for this build. And that's a wrap for today, Simmers. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had as much fun as I did. You can find this build on the gallery under my EA ID, which is SirenaSimsYT. This, as well as other information about the build, can be found in the description box below. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. I'd like to know what you want to see next. Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss any of my future videos. Until next time, toodles!